In this video, we're going to have a look at what is possibly the easiest way to insert a size chart into your WooCommerce website. So here on the page, you can see I have a size chart down here, but we also have the option to put the same information into a pop-up. So this is a size chart I've just copied and pasted in from another website. And to just show you some other options with the size chart, we'll have a look at the beanie. And in the beanie, you will see that we have a different kind of layout for the size chart, and this table is actually generated using the plugin. So you can either bring in an external one and just paste the HTML into the text editor, or you can actually build a size chart, and I'll show you how to do that now. And just to show you, I have these are the size charts, and the plugin that I'm using here is this WPC product size chart for WooCommerce. It is free to use and it's really easy to use. So just to then get started, I'm going to just show you how to create a size chart. So I think we've covered like a beanie, a t-shirt, hoodies. Now I know that music normally wouldn't have a size chart. So I'm just going to create a new size chart for music. So we'll call it music. You don't have to put anything in the excerpt. If you want to, you can. Right, then over here now you're asked where to apply it. So you can do it to product type, to product categories, product tags, color, or size. So you can apply the attributes to wherever or the size chart to any product where there's a size, any product where there's a color, or you can apply it by product category. So in this case, I'm going to apply this one to product category. And in the category, then I just look for music. And once music is loaded, that's all that I have to do. Now I have a choice. I can either bring in a size chart from another website and just paste it in here. So paste the HTML table in the space over here. Or you have this option to create your own size chart. So if I was going to create a size chart, I might say CD, let's say type, and then size. So here I might do the type here is CD, and the size here is standard. Then I have another CD here, and it's a mini disc. And then I have another one here, which is vinyl. And in this case, I'll just say it's a 45 RPM, and I'll add another one. We'll call it vinyl, and let's call it 33 and a third. So some of you will know what that means. Others, well, you're too young. Right, so there we have the sizes, and I can now simply just publish that. And you'll see here under publish, there's also a shortcode. So if we use the shortcode, we can actually insert it into the music page so it's visible without the pop-up. So when we do it this way, and I'm going to head over to the website, and we'll just refresh the page. I'm going to go to this music product over here. And once I've selected the music product, you'll see that we have the size chart music. Going to click on that, and there we have our chart. So we have music, type, and size. And yeah, that's pretty much then how we can insert. Now the styling leaves a lot to be desired. So the only way to do the styling is to do it the good old-fashioned way with a style sheet. So we would inspect, and now we can pick up the different classes here, and then with the customize, the standard customize menu, we would then be able to customize that table. So maybe I'll just show you quickly. It's not that difficult to do. So we just let that customize open up. Right, once customize opens, we go to additional CSS, and then over here, I'm going to open up that size chart. And what I'm going to do is just edit a bit of styling here. So let's just go over to the structure. So the first thing that you'll notice with the structure is that you have the table head and then you have the table body. So the first thing that we'll do then maybe is we'll go to the table head, and you'll see the table head is made up of type and size. And then if we look at the content in the row, you'll see that there are two tables. So in order for this to work, so let's say I go to type, and this is going to be a very quick edit. So I might go with some padding, and let's make the padding 5 pixels. That's already looking a lot better. Maybe in this case, we can go for a bit more. So we could maybe do 10 pixels. And already now it's starting to just look a little bit better. And yep, maybe in this case, we'll do 10 and then top and bottom, and then left and right, maybe we'll do that 20 pixels just to create some space there. And right, so there we have the layout. If we're not happy with that, maybe what we want to do is, and maybe on the left we'll go with no pixels. Now we kind of have this lining up with the columns. So that might be another way of adjusting. And what you'll notice now is that as I adjust the styling here, you'll notice that it gets applied to the content as well. So I mean, maybe we do want to make it that wide. So there we have the type, and there we have the size. Now maybe we want to style the rows, and when it comes to styling the rows, we might want to do something like this. So we could do so it'll be a table. Let's just have a look. We can just actually take this class here. Right, so we punch that class in, tr. Right, so I'm just going to show you here. And then what I'm going to do is env-child. So now it's going to look for the rows in the listing. And in this case, I'm going to say odd, or maybe we'll go even. Right, and then I'm going to go background. Right, so now we've been able to style every second row. So you'll see there we started with the second row because we said even. That's very light, so I'm going to change that up to, that's a bit better. So now we've moved it up, and maybe it looks a bit odd if it starts in the second one. So if you want to start it in the first one, you can just say odd. Now it will also, you'll see now that it also is applying that style to the, not just to the, well, it's applying it to the two rows, because the top is also in a row. So if we only wanted to isolate the table body, then we could have a look at doing something like this. T body, and now we're just targeting the table body. And maybe what we want to do as well now is just see what would happen if we were to apply on the TD class, if we were to apply some padding. And that looks a lot better if you have a look at that. So now our table is starting to take shape. Now I haven't copied all these styles in, but I'm going to copy these styles across, and I'll show you why. And we'll just see how they're affected when we embed this into the music page. Well, just with the end style, we have something to look at, and then also with the table head, that was the TH style, and that was that one. So I'm just going to copy those in, and that's just for the spacing there. But so we'll have the spacing in the rows. We won't have the padding, but that's okay. Then, yeah, if you wanted to round off the corners of this very square block, that you could also look at doing. So we simply move up the selectors here until we find the one that's responsible, and we can then just border radius and 5 pixels, or maybe you want to make it 10. So already we have something that's looking a little bit nicer, and we'll just copy that over here. Right, so there we've built up a bit of a style, and it's looking a lot better. So very easy to style, very easy then to make the table look really good. Let's close that. We'll go back to the standard page size, and then we'll refresh. And let's see if the styles are taking effect. And yep, the styles have taken effect, the ones that we saved. So that's a great way to style your page as well. Now, if we wanted to embed this size, because there aren't a lot of sizes here, so maybe you want to just include it here permanently. No need to always hit the pop-up if you don't have to. So what we can do then is move over to the snippets, and I'm using code snippets. And then what we're going to do is target this particular size chart and insert it into the page. Now, if I go back here to size charts, you'll see that the short codes are also displayed here. So I could just as easily have come in here and copied that. Right, then I'm going to head over to my snippets, and now we're just going to target the music category. So to do that, we're going to add a new function here. So to do that, then it will be function by underscore music underscore size underscore chart. So that's going to be our size chart, right, for music. And then I know that I'm going to be using a filter, or not a filter, an action from WooCommerce to hook in. And I'm going to use the same one I did here, the WooCommerce after add to cart form. So let's add underscore action. And we're just going to call that WooCommerce underscore after underscore add underscore to underscore cart underscore form. And then we copy, oh, before we do that, I'm just pasting in that shortcode. Then I'm copying that, take that out. Right, so now we've told it where to hook in on the page, and I want it to appear afterwards. So I'm going to set the priority to 15. The standard is 10, but I don't want it to appear. I want to make sure that it appears after the add to cart form. So there we have it. If I have it appear inside the add to cart form, it's not going to stretch as wide as it can go, because the form is narrower than the right hand column. So that's why I want to add it after the form. Then over here, we're going to just check the term. So if the product has underscore term, and the term that we're going to look for is music. And what kind of term is it? Well, it's a product it's a product category, and that's how we reference the term. And then we open bracket, and we close the bracket. And now to output the shortcode, we know that that is echo do underscore shortcode, and then that will be the format. And then we're going to paste the shortcode between those two single inverted comma. So we copy that and we paste that in. And now what you'll immediately notice here is that there's a break in the code here, and that's because when we're working with PHP and we echo something out, or not, as another example, but in the echo statement, what it means is that that piece of code has come to an end, and now we have a separate code. Now that would break this from displaying. So in order to ensure that this is all seen as being part of the same shortcode, and that we're not going to be inserting any PHP between those two a single inverted comma, we just change it to a double inverted comma. And I'm just going to copy and then save. And we're pretty much good to go. So that's the only thing you need to change. And then using the simple hook, now when we head over to the music page and we click, you'll see that there we have our album displaying. And you'll see that the styling has remained as well. So that's how we can kind of target the styling as well. And just another thing then is I'm going to just go back to the shop and I'm going to check that on, let's see if it's on the beanie page. And you'll see that it's not on the beanie page. And then I'm going to check if it's, would it be anywhere else? On the single page, that's also music. And there on the single page, we also have the size. So generally the sizes would then correlate with attributes. So a good example of that is probably on the t-shirt. So for example, now I'm not sure if there are any. So the other, to see a good example of that, we would need to just have a look for, here's a hoodie with different attributes. So yes or no. So generally, then we would look to include the size charts for items that have sizes. So let's say this did have sizes, we put the size chart on the same page. Now in this case, embedding the size chart is not a good idea. Now the reason for this change now is because of the styling we applied on the music chart. Now that's come over here. So in order to prevent this kind of overflow of styling, I'm going to head back to the music one. And pretty much what we need to do here then is just make sure we're only targeting the styling for this table for music. And to do that, let's just pull up everything and I'll show you how we do that. What we're going to do is just look at the classes on the page and see if there isn't a way, as we move up the classes from where we have our table. So there we have the table. And as we move up, we just want to have a look and see if there isn't a reference to the kind of product. And you'll actually see here in the styles for the product that we have this product underscore cat dash music. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go over to my styles and I'm just going to put that reference to the style in front of anything to do with music. So that was the music one, and that was the music one as well. So we're going to do that, and we'll publish. And now you'll see that our styles are as they were. And once that's published, I'm going to close that, close the window here. And now when I go to or any other one, let's see, we were looking at hoodie here. Now you'll see that that style hasn't been applied to hoodie and that the hoodie chart is back to the smaller size. So you could then apply the same to hoodie, for example, if you wanted to style that differently. And then here I've applied some styles already, so you can see, some of that pulling through. And then if you look at the hoodie size chart, it's the original size with everything nice and close. So yeah, maybe I can just show you quickly then how to, on the hoodie one, I just copied and pasted the size chart in. And literally what I did is I went to the internet and I said clothing size chart. Saw what came up. I didn't read anything too much. I just looked for the first one that came up. I looked at that and I thought, yeah, that looks good. I just basically copied that. Went back to the size chart. So what I'll do here now is I'll just go into the text, or actually I can do it in the visual side as well. I'm going to copy everything, delete, paste it in, and update. And that's all that I did to insert a size chart. I didn't have to do any additional formatting, and this is applied to hoodies. So if I go to the hoodies now, Some of these styles I applied earlier, but you can see the chart displays perfectly fine. So that's how easy it is to put in. The other thing that you need to know here then is you can also add some footer text. So over here, I've just added call to be sure, but in all likelihood, it might just be easier to add everything inside that area. The footer text would be nice if we added a table here. So if we had added another table, maybe this would be the place then to add the footer text. Then we'd have the beginning text, the table, and then the footer text. So that would work well for the music size chart. So if I go back to the music, and I'm going to just edit the chart for music, and there's music, and text above will be, I'm just going to go text above here, and text, what am I doing? Okay, and then text below here. So there's the text below, and yeah, then we'll update that. Head over to the website, refresh, and now you'll see we have the text above here and the text below here. That's how easy it is to add some additional information. Now, the other thing that you could add in here, which, it's pretty much open to add anything you want. So if I head over to my forms section and I was to just take a form here, let's just take this contact form, copy the shortcode. What I'm also able to do now is here we're in the music section, and maybe I want to add a form underneath. So I'd like to do that in the text section, add the shortcode, update, and then if I refresh the page now, you'll see that the shortcode hasn't been executed. Let's have a look. Let's try in the above, and I'll add it in the visual menu. So it might be that shortcodes can't be executed from here. I thought it was worth a try. Right, so you're not going to be able to execute a shortcode that way inside the editing area. So, right, we can. I'm not going to try that now, but maybe through another plugin there would be a way to add something. So we'll just refresh that. Yeah, so that's how you can very easily then add a style sheet. Also very easy, then you just click on it. Now I can see here that the styling that we created hasn't been applied to the music, and that will have something to do with the fact that we targeted a specific category. So I just want to have a look and see what might be causing that, because generally you definitely will need to do some styling here. So let's just have a look and see what we got. So we've got the size chart content, and let's just have a look and see if, okay, so what you'll notice here now is that as we go up the content is being displayed inside a lightbox and not inside the page, and for that reason we're not picking up the reference to the product type as we did before, and that's why the styling is not applied. So to get that styling applied, we would have to scroll up and just see right at the top of the page if there isn't something here maybe that we could use, and I can't see anything that has a single product, but not specific to a specific category. So to style that, maybe we'll do that a little bit different. And what I'm going to do is head over to music, and I just want to see if I'm in text, if I could actually do something like this. Just add a class like div class equals music, and let's go back to visual, go back to text. Okay, still there. And then over here in the text editing, let's just put the closing div here. Right, so now we've wrapped the table in that music div. We'll update and have a look if that's stuck. Right, so that's saved, and yeah, it looks like automatically the closing tag was inserted. Here, so that means that we're not going to be able to reference it in music when it comes to adding. And there's nowhere here that I can see where we can assign a class for any styling. So that's a bit of a letdown, which means that whatever styling you apply then is going to be applied to all the products. These are all just general classes for the theme and for the section I'm in, so they're all great. But nothing here that refers to the kind of product that I'm looking at. So we could then write a function or a filter to add in a class, and that's a lot of work though. A lot of additional work just to get this to work. Yeah, so the only thing that we can do then is that remember that when we're targeting the lightbox, we can add this class feather light, and that would target the box, but it's going to then target it for all the light boxes and the tables in the light boxes. So that is a bit of a problem. Yeah, and there's nothing here that gives us an ID of the size chart. There we go. There we go. In here, there is a reference in the styling here to a specific size chart. So another way to target this then would be to use that instead of the product cat music. I'm going to replace that here with, just see if that works then. Right, so that is working. So now we've applied the style. We've just updated the style to only target this particular table. So that's that's one way around it. And that then means now that the music is styled there, and if I refresh the page, the same style will be applied here because the reference to the style sheet to the size chart is the same. So that's how we can get the music working, right? And then of course if I go back to the shop and I go back to my hoodies, then hoodies shouldn't be affected, not affected there, and if I open up here, not affected. So that's how you can apply the styling then to individual charts. In terms of where we position the size chart, so here we've positioned it under the price. If I go back to the beanie, we've applied it there just below the price, and then on the record, the album, also just below the price. So that's no coincidence. When you've loaded the plugin, you go to this link, not the size charts one, WP Clever. They're actually separated out. and we go to the product size chart link, otherwise you'll see all these other plugins. Yeah, you can determine where to put it. Now, you can't determine where to put it except here. So it's going to be the same for everything that you do. So under the price, you generally want to put it close to the add to cart. So if we look at it now under the price, if we say above add to cart, will that then do it above the stock levels? So no. So above the cart and below the price, looks like that's pretty much the same thing. The only other one to test then would be under the title. So we save that, head over, and now the size chart is under the title. Now I've used hooks to move some of the content around, so I've inserted that on that page. Here you can see I actually moved this up using a hook, but you can see that it's been moved up to below the logo, and I could access that hook and then move that down. But you can see that it is working. You can move it up and down. If it's the default layout, it'll work as it should. Unless I've been playing with the hooks, so I might have to just do some other amendments after that. And then here you can combine and show all product size charts in one pop-up. So let's have a look. I'm going to try that. So we've got the two sizes. I'm going to head over to the website, refresh. I'm just going to pop over here to the music and then click on the size chart and see. Right, so we didn't get all the size charts appearing there. And let's go back to the beanie. Going to refresh that. I definitely have it set that combine all and save. Head back here, refresh, size charts. So, yeah, definitely not all included as it says there, or not all combined to appear as stated. Yeah, it's only showing as per my allocation. So this setting not working. Yeah, and then the global size charts here just reference back to the size charts that we created. So you'll see you'll be redirected, and then the how to use is really very simple. It's 2 lines of text. Global switch to global size charts tab to add some charts, and then product basis size charts. When editing the product, you can choose the size charts tab, then add some size charts as you want. So it also stipulates then that when editing a product. So let's go and edit a product. So here I am editing a product, and let's have a look here. There's size charts. So in size charts, right. So okay, so you can use the shortcode. Default disable overwrite. Okay, so you could maybe overwrite here. I don't know what. Is this going to look for the name of the hoodie size chart? So if I'm on music and I add the hoodie size chart and I say overwrite, update, and let's go and have a look if that does overwrite. So I guess technically you could make a size chart that you apply on your own. Okay, so the overwrite doesn't work on the embedded size chart. And if we look at it does work in the pop-up. It won't work on the embed because in the embed, we've actually stipulated a shortcode and it's displaying what's in the shortcode, and that's unaffected. But when it comes to the pop-up, there you can actually override because it's overriding the content of the pop-up. It's not changing the content of the shortcode. So yeah, that does make sense. So I'm gonna just head back here. Let's head back to the product and see if there's anything else that we can have a look at. Size charts. Right, so we can disable completely. So that should be pretty straightforward. So here I'm just going to go view product, new tab. Yeah, so the size chart is gone. So that works. But once again, if you've inserted with a shortcode, of course, you need to be careful. The shortcode will always show. What else do we want to check? So if we were going to add it with a shortcode, so here it says under size charts, you can use the shortcode to show this product size chart. So it's saying that we can use that shortcode. But that number, and you'll see there it has the double inverted comma that we changed earlier. If I go to the size charts, I go to the global size charts, and I look for the music one, you'll see we actually need the number 452. But I can't enter that here. So I can say default, I can disable, I can override. But I can't actually enter the code here. Also, what you'll notice here is it says manage global size chart. So if I click on that, I'm going to go back to all the size charts. I don't want to do that, but maybe in the short description here, let's see if I add the short code. Let's see if that works. So it said double inverted comma, but then when it makes it, it has a single inverted comma. So not sure about that. And then here in the short description, okay, so here we have the music size chart inserted. Now will be inserted when we edited the product. So if you have a specific size chart, you could create it. And when you create it, you don't allocate it to a product in any way. And then using the shortcode, you could insert it manually on a specific page if that's what you wanted to do. The last thing that I'd like to check then is in our size charts is let's just see if it applies anywhere where we have a specific size. So the hoodies one we've been working with for a while. So let's go to the hoodie size chart and now let's see if we can apply that to anything with product sizes. And okay, so that would, okay, so small. Not sure why we have to sit, would we have to do, this is going to look for anything with a specific size, but I wanted to apply this to all categories with a product size. So I'm not going to stipulate anything in there. And then over here, I'm going to go back to my shop and now I'm going to go and have a look at a product we haven't looked at before. And that is this one down here with the polo. And if I open that up, do we have a size chart? And yes, there we have the size chart because we have a product size and there would be the sizes. So that's interesting. So if you do have products that share the sizes, then you can allocate it then by attributes as well, and just selecting size will be size. The same probably apply to color, tags, product type as well. Here maybe we're going to put here, let's do grouped. Right, there's grouped. Let's update. Now there's only one group product on the website. And that is this one here, the logo collection. And there's the size chart. So it does work when allocating in that way as well. So yeah, those are the ways to allocate the size chart, but you can't say allocate this to group products. Oh, you can. And you could go single or variable, but yeah, it just gets a bit complicated if you're targeting specific products. Anyway, that's how you can then use the size chart. It's a really good size chart, and the nice thing is is that you get to manage all your size charts in one place. You have a nice range of selections on where to put it, and you can also then, just using a simple hook, add it anywhere on the page as well. So highly recommend. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching.